Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into Everyday Betting. Got a pretty cool episode today. I'm actually filming during the daylight. It's not the green light. We have the Emmys coming up on Sunday, which you can bet on. It is considered part of the specials market, which is very popular in the UK. So, what do I mean by specials market? You've got a few things. You've got award season. So you got the Emmys, the Grammys, the Oscars are the big one, Tonys, things like that. You have reality shows you can bet on. Great British Bake Off, Strictly Come Dancing, America and Britain's Got Talent. Eurovision would fall into the specials market category. Who is going to portray the next James Bond? These are all considered special markets. When Game of Thrones was on TV, which character will die? Who will rule Westeros when the show ends? These are all within the specials market realm. So we have the Emmys that are coming up. And in America, typically, New Jersey is one state that okays betting award shows, most notably the Oscars. Every time the Oscars come around, New Jersey gives the green light. The state regulators say you can bet on this, and here you can give odds. Most states don't do that, though. So just really check with whatever book you use, wherever you live, whatever part of the world you're in, for these odds, because they are available to many. So we have the Emmys, and I am joined by two friends of mine. They're actually a couple, Nick Puro and Sam Idelson. So they work in the industry, the film industry. They've worked on shows such as Necessary Roughness, The Vampire Diaries, Ozark, Dirty Grandpa. It's a long list of shows and movies these two have worked on. So they called in to give their betting advice on a few of the categories. So let's dive right into it. Using 888 Sport Odds, because they actually have Emmy odds. We go through them all, starting with Outstanding Comedy Series. You have Schitt's Creek, which is favored at -250, and apparently this is the year Schitt's Creek and both Watchmen, which we'll get into later. Those are the shows that are going to be taking home awards, it seems. Schitt's Creek is actually favored to win more categories than any other show at the Emmys. And so I asked Sam and Nick for their opinion on Schitt's Creek and the entire category of best or outstanding comedy series. And this is what they had to say.
So I go first here. Hands down, Schitt's Creek's gonna win. I think Marvelous Miss Maisel's won too much, so like they have to switch it up. And I'm like looking at it. I heard Dead to Me is, pretty, like I think they have a pretty good cult following, but Schitt's Creek's gonna win. I have very little doubt with that. It's like everybody's freaking out about that show.
I believe that Schitt's Creek does, of course, have the best odds to win. I think I mentioned that they were in their final season. They actually do have one more, so that might make people more excited. And I don't remember how they've done in the past, so it could be their year, especially going up against Marvelous Miss Maisel, who's, I believe, won pretty much. I think it started in 2017, or it was 2018 and 2019. They won back-to-back years. Yeah. Going further down the list, like The Good Place, Curb Your Enthusiasm, both entertaining shows, but not good enough to win an Emmy, in my opinion. And then from, Sam mentioned, Dead to Me, Christina Applegate, great to see her back on television. Personally, my favorite in this is What We Do in the Shadows. However, I don't think the Academy is going to appreciate it as much as the fans have. But even, I don't know, Marvelous Miss Maisel, I would never count them out. It's a very entertaining show, and actually haven't finished up this past season, so I'd lock in Schitt's Creek if you're looking to make it, but I don't think that Marvelous Miss Maisel is a bad pick either.
Yeah, the running trend with Schitt's Creek, and I brought up in another betting show that I do, is that Schitt's Creek has both Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. They are both favored to win Outstanding Actor and Actress for a lead comedy role. And the reason that Schitt's Creek is so high on everyone's list, other than it being a fantastic show, is that both Levy and O'Hara have been servicing the film industry for decades now, in which they have played numerous iconic characters. With Eugene Levy, you go to Best in Show, you go to American Pie. With Catherine O'Hara, I think the easy one there is Beetlejuice and Home Alone as the mother. They have given so much to this industry, and Schitt's Creek is amazing. And so now I think the culmination of both of their hard work, ironically working on the same show together, is going to come to full fruition for this event. So Schitt's Creek minus 250 for best outstanding comedy series, whatever you want to call it. And then you have Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, who are also favored in their respective categories for Schitt's Creek. Seems to be pretty solid betting. Some good betting advice there. So now we move to the next category. I believe it's drama. Could be outstanding drama. And I asked Nick and Sam about their thoughts on which show should win this category.
Okay, so I've heard so many good things about Succession. I've never seen it.
So real quick, Succession is the favorite at minus 400. That stars Brian Cox, who is also favored to win Best Actor for a Drama Series. He's favored at minus 167. Co-star Jeremy Strong is favored at plus 200. You also have Jason Bateman in there and Billy Porter as well. All four are good picks according to both Sam and Nick, but they go a little bit deeper into the best drama series and all the shows that are nominated and where you should be betting.
So I can't really talk about it too much. I don't really know much about it, but I would say just from what I've read and what I've seen, that's going to win. But damn, the morning show,
Well, you work on Ozark, so there's some bias for you there, right?
Yeah, so she was a she formerly worked on Ozark, the first season, as she mentions. And so I asked, is that a little biased there? But she actually doesn't think Ozark is worth it.
Right. Can you pick Ozark to win? Or is that...
I wouldn't pick Ozark to win this category yet. I think maybe next season, because I believe next season is their last season. I bet you they win next year. But I actually didn't watch this season of Ozark. Because I worked on season 1 of Ozark, and I think JB will win. I think he's nominated for Best Actor or Director this year.
Yeah, Jason Bateman is nominated. JB is Jason Bateman. It's his show, Ozark. That is nominated for a couple things, including Jason Bateman being a Best Lead Actor in a Drama Series, as I had just mentioned, right under Jeremy Strong at odds to win plus 350. Sam likes Jason Bateman to win that more than she likes Ozark to take home Best Drama Series.
I mean, he'll win one of those. He's the Emmys love him. He's talented, extremely. But I think I'm actually not disappointed that The Mandalorian is so low. I thought it was really good, and I thought, Baby Yoda was adorable. But I didn't think it was that mind-blowingly amazing. It just wasn't the best TV show I've seen. Stranger Things should definitely be higher, but I think they're probably, just have their fans that are already fans. They haven't gotten any extra fans lately. I don't think they've attracted new viewership.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue with the two shows at the bottom of the list of betting odds. You have The Mandalorian and you have Stranger Things for Best Drama Series. The issue with both of those, although very popular shows, is The Mandalorian is just doesn't live up to the other shows it is going up against. Whereas Stranger Things, you could say, has peaked already. And like Sam just mentioned, haven't really attracted new fans. So that could come back to bite them.
I don't think so either.
Handmaid's Tale, though. I love the
I watched The Handmaid's Tale with Sam. Once again, I like The Handmaid's Tale, but at the same time, it's always dark for me. And I don't know. It's very good, but it's just, I think that ultimate dark, gritty, post-apocalyptic time is kind of run its course. I watched season 1 of Succession, and I really liked it. Season 2 is on my queue. However, I like The Crown too. It's just a pick. I did try watching The Crown. I'm not crazy about it. When you look at production design and the storytelling and everything about the different periods of Queen Elizabeth's life, I mean, it has its own cult following, and the critics really love that show. As far far as maybe a sneaky pick in here,
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
I heard it's better than the original show.
Better Call Saul is plus 1,700 to win Best Drama, which is Nick's long shot bet in that category.
Yeah, and that's saying a lot because I didn't watch Breaking Bad. I have yet to watch it. Maybe it's on my queue down the line. But even Better Call Saul, I watched the first 2 seasons, and now, forgive me, the name's escaping me of the actor they brought on.
Bob Odenkirk.
Right. The Mandalorian. He's nominated. I think he's also on season 2 of The Boys. I forget the gentleman's name, but I think Better Call Saul would be like a good underdog pick. However,
I think Succession will win.
what I read about Succession season 2 definitely was one of the top shows this year.
I will say, I do think The Crown is going, like what you were saying, I was thinking it too. Like, it's probably going to win in production design or costume, something like that. Like, The Crown is just, I mean, if you've seen it, like, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, and with next season, I think they're going to start having Princess Diana, and I forgot who they were casting, but they're getting people excited for next season. So I don't know. Don't count The Crown out, but Succession, definitely.
Yeah, so don't count The Crown out. Succession should win, but don't count out The Crown in terms of, especially in terms of production, design, costume design, wardrobe, makeup, hairstyle, those sort of categories seems to be favoring The Crown. But in terms of best drama, you heard what they said. The Crown's not bad in terms of looking outside of Succession. Succession is minus 400. So you're having to spend $400 to win back 100 if it wins. But that tells you how strong of a candidate it is. But if you're looking for a long shot bet, avoid The Mandalorian, avoid Stranger Things. Better Call Saul at plus 1,700 seems to be the way to go. You also have the, I believe it's the limited series category, in which you have Watchmen as a huge, huge favorite. You also have television movie, in which I believe Bad Education was favored there. And so starting with one of the two, I forget which one I asked Nick and Sam, I asked them to break down both categories. Television, like movie made for television, and then best limited series. This is what they had to say.
Having watched Watchmen,
Yeah, so Watchmen is minus 500 for best limited series at the Emmys this year. Watchmen, as Nick and Sam will explain, outside of Schitt's Creek, should see the most awards and the most trophies on Sunday. And Watchmen at minus 500 presents the most favored nomination to win any category on Sunday. So they're tough to beat, but this is what they had to say.
It's a good one, in my opinion. I thought it was one of the best television pilots out there.
Oh, wow.
For a new show and a new season, and just something very different. And even like, I don't really follow the comic books and graphic novels. However, I was hooked from the very first, the first opening sequence, and then how it carried on and where the story went from there. Definitely, Miss America, like, good underdog. I think Little Fires Everywhere was better above Miss America, and like, don't count out Kerry Washington, Reese Witherspoon, that whole story. It wasn't like in the sense I kind of found that show predictable with the way it ended, but still just an amazing cast. But bet on Watchmen, because I think Watchmen is definitely gonna take probably the loot of a lot of trophies or Emmys.
I think Watchmen will win mainly because it was the most, like, out of all of these shows, I think that was the biggest upset that there wouldn't be a second season. And I mean,
Yeah.
like, the ending was so good. Miss America, I have a really good thing. I mean, can we just point out that, like, these are all, I think, I haven't seen Unorthodox, but these are, everything else I know is, like, a female lead driven show, which is, for me, pretty exciting. But, like, I mean, Little Fires Everywhere, you have two already, like, award-winning actresses. Unbelievable was really good.
With the two female detectives and the girl.
It's like Schmidt. I don't know if you watch New Girl, but it's Schmidt's ex-girlfriend from it. Who, like, calls him Fat Schmidt. It's very funny. Anyway, anyways, she's amazing in it. I think that could maybe sneak in, but I think it's between Watchmen or Little Fires Everywhere, probably. Because, I mean, the Emmys are going to love, just awards in general, love Kerry Washington.
Yeah, so Little Fires Everywhere plus 1,000 to win. Watchmen minus 500. They like Watchmen. The issue is that if you think minus 500 is expensive, so that's one issue itself. The other being that the awards love Kerry Washington, they do, and she's tremendous in that show. And so, don't be surprised if Little Fires Everywhere takes a few awards home for the limited series categories. Watchmen is favored at minus 500. When you go to Best Actress in a limited series category, Regina King is favored for Watchmen as well. Kerry Washington is plus 1,000 in that as well. So for two different categories in the limited series, Little Fires Everywhere is providing great value. Not saying they will win, but Kerry Washington is a huge difference maker here in the eyes of the voters of the Academy and people that are giving out the awards. It's legit. It's legit worth considering. When you go to the lead actor for a limited series, Mark Ruffalo, I believe, is favored for that at minus 167, which is a pretty good bet. Jeremy Irons for Watchmen is plus 650. And so you can kind of see where odds makers are leaning a little bit in terms of Watchmen. They like Regina King. They like the series as a whole. Jeremy Irons is going up against very strong nominations, however. And so Nick and Sam breaking down Watchmen, how good of a show it is. It should win a bunch of awards. Keep in mind, Little Fires Everywhere can be the upset buffer to Watchmen in some of these categories. Not saying it will, but it can be. And then, of course, you have Jeremy Irons, who is the other end of the spectrum, a heavy underdog that you might actually want to bet on for Watchmen to win. So it kind of goes both ways, like a merry-go-round or seesaw. So it's interesting, but that's the take there for limited series at this award show on Sunday. Then, of course, the television movie made for TV. What show is going to take home that award? This is what Nick and Sam had to say.
I heard Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Like, I know it from the TV show that it was. I didn't know. I really don't know much about the television movie, but I have heard it's like an interactive kind of movie. I heard it's kind of like different than normal, like a normal viewing experience. I don't really know what that meant, but like that's what I read up on it. So that should be interesting. That might be why it's so favored.
The issue with Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which Sam is about to address, is that when the comedy genre is competing against other genres, broad genres, documentaries, musicals, dramas, limited series, comedies do not do well, and that's addressed in it.
Because it's a little bit more original. But my thing is like that's got to be hugely comedy based, and usually comedies don't win in broad groups like this. So I mean, I would guess maybe Dolly Parton's Heartstrings, just because it's the only other Bad Education I've heard of, though. Those are the kind of only two other ones I've really heard of. I don't know what El Camino is, and I don't know what American Son is.
This is a tough category. I think this is probably the toughest one to decide as I'm looking through them all. Nick, what about you? What do you think?
Honestly, like my first pick or my first thought reading this category was El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie. I think it was a lot of exciting for like a lot of critics and fans to do what they did with this. However, I don't think it lived up to what everyone thought it would be. I think it's a good, second pick. But like if you got a little money and like you want to go with it, it's probably a good pick seeing that the odds aren't that far apart. Even possible too. A lot of people have talked about how great the show American Son is.
Yeah, American Son.
And with this, the way it is in this day and age, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to American Son. Just with the message it sends and the crazy times we live in, and sometimes Hollywood likes to really correct itself. Because I remember when me and Sam watched it, it was like that was one with Kerry Washington in the police station.
Oh, that was actually really good.
and her son being killed by a police officer.
It was all done in one set, which I think is
difficult.
like the whole thing takes place in 2 rooms of a police station, which, like, for coming from the industry, it's easier and harder because you have to make that interesting, but at the same time, it's easier on the production.
But you have
A lot less money.
engaged.
Yeah, that's a way to do a low budget film and get big budget actors because you can give them more money. So, I mean, that actually plays really well into today's social climate. Actually, I think that might win just based on politics.
Yeah, with kind of the way too, like, because Hollywood and
Not that it should win, but I think that helps.
poor
It.
press tend to fall in under these things. I could see American Son being a big one to come from behind him.
Okay, well, there you have it. American Son could actually be the one to upset Bad Education and take the best movie made for television award. I actually agree with that. I think American Son, again, the Kerry Washington factor is huge when you're talking about award season. She's, riddled all over the place. And so I think there's value there. We didn't get, I recorded, but the week I've had so many technical difficulties. So, of course, there were 2 other categories that I recorded with these 2 that didn't record, apparently. I don't know. So I'll try to paraphrase as best as I can what Nick and Sam were saying. For the lead actress role in a drama series, Laura Linney is favored for Ozark at plus 100, which is a good bet. Sam and Nick, though, really like Jennifer Aniston at plus 400 for The Morning Show. A few reasons there. One is because she's playing a character that she doesn't normally play. Also, going to the Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hare analysis earlier, she's due. She has played iconic roles in the industry for decades, mainly comedy roles. Rachel in Friends is obviously the number one. And then she's done a lot of rom-coms too. So now she's in a different element, a serious dramatic element, doing a very good job, and really just awaiting her turn to be noticed, you could say, for her achievements and everything she's done. Also in that same category, Zendaya at plus 800 is a very good bet for Euphoria. The thing with Zendaya is the age. Now, the Emmys and the Academy and people who vote for award shows tend to lean away from teenagers and teenage shows and things like that. The thing is, though, Zendaya is dominating it. The show is very, very good. And Zendaya's odds went from plus 300. They're now plus 800. So that means people are voting on her. They're betting on her. Maybe they know something. I don't know. But those 2 names were 2 that stood out from Nick and Sam when you're looking at which actress should be taking home the best actress award for a dramatic series. Then for the limited series, same thing, actress for a limited series. You had Regina King at the top for Watchmen, as I told you earlier, followed by Cate Blanchett for Miss America at plus 110 and Kerry Washington, Little Fires Everywhere, plus 1,000. So quick recap for the Emmys. Number 1, Schitt's Creek should have a good night. Watchmen should also have a very good night. For Schitt's Creek, do not be afraid to bet on any of them. Catherine O'Hare minus 400 is very expensive, so I very much understand if you don't want to bet her because she's just too pricey. Eugene Levy should be good, and Schitt's Creek to win Outstanding Comedy Series should be good to go as well. If you're looking for a dark horse against Eugene Levy, Nick brought up Rami Youssef. Eugene Levy should win, but Rami Youssef is a great, great pick for really the only other actor who could challenge Eugene Levy for that award. And you can get Rami Youssef at plus 225. Succession supposed to have really, really good night. If minus 400 is a bit pricey for you to win best drama series, Better Call Saul at plus 1,700, a good value pick there. Or you can take your Succession fandom and betting fiendness, whatever you want to call it, and move it to Brian Cox or Jeremy Strong, minus 167, plus 200 to win Best Actor in a Dramatic Series. They're both for Succession. Brian Cox is the favorite at -167. Also has the argument to be made of being in the industry for a while, never getting the recognition he should get. This could be the time he finally gets it. And then Kerry Washington and Little Fires Everywhere present great value for anyone who thinks that Watchmen is not going to win a couple of categories. But as you heard from Nick and Sam, they like Schitt's Creek and Watchmen to take home the most awards of the entire evening. And then from there, it's just going to go category by category. So we will see. I'm very excited for all this. The Emmys are Sunday. And so if you go to your sports book and you see there's no odds at all, go back Saturday, go back Sunday morning. DraftKings for New Jersey bettors usually will have odds for this. They have it for the Oscars. I'd be shocked if they didn't have it for the Emmys. In the UK, you're good to go. It doesn't matter what sportsbook you use. But if you're in America, you need to check because usually New Jersey is the only state that allows it. But we'll see. So we will see. That's going to do it for us here at Everyday Sports. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. And if you can't make bets on the Emmys, maybe you could do a fun pool, a party pool with your friends. I know a lot of people do that. Or it'll be, just fun to, have some information handy and see who wins these awards. So we will see. Be sure to go on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, follow Everyday Sports Fans there. Give them a like, give them a shout out. Good job that they're doing with that company. Really, I say this every time to close the show. They do a good job of diversifying the coverage of sports that they do. And so definitely want to check them out. Thank you all for tuning in. Go out there and make some good bets. Happy NFL Sunday betting as well. Not going to go over that. But until next time, I'm Tom, and we'll see you.